Well, COVID-19 infections continue to moderate mostly across Canada. There's concern, though, about the spread of variants of concern and how they might drive cases back up. Modeling numbers released in Ontario today suggest the variants could make up about 40% of all cases in Ontario by the second week of March. And that would likely result in a spike in new cases and hospitalizations. In a worst-case scenario, Ontario could be looking at 4,000 new cases a day by the end of March. Raywat Deonandan is an epidemiologist and associate professor at the University of Ottawa. He frequently joins us to talk about the latest on the pandemic. He's with us now. Ray Deonandan, thanks for being with me again tonight. Look, there's concerns across Canada over the rise and spread of COVID-19 variants of concern. These new Ontario models suggesting as many as those 40% of all new infections caused by variants by mid-March. How worrisome is that?
It's pretty worrisome. Now, the likelihood of a third wave has always been based on whether or not the new variants would become dominant. In fact, the variants will probably be the mechanism of a third wave. So as we're opening up the economy in parts of the country, that's what we're concerned about, the rate at which these new variants take hold and become dominant.
The Ontario public health officials today called it akin to a minefield lying ahead of the people of Ontario. What's the best way to get through it?
Okay, so the rate of increase in cases is dependent on several factors. Number one is the amount of contacts that we have. This is why lockdowns work. We limit the number of contacts. Number two is characteristics intrinsic to the virus, the extent to which the degree of infection matters, the extent to which the infectious load matters. We can't control those things. We can control the amount of susceptibility in the population through vaccination. So again, two things we can control: the amount of contacts we have and the amount of vaccination we deploy. That's what will get us out of this.
All right. We're already seeing cases creep back up somewhat in parts of Ontario as the restrictions and stay-at-home orders are lifted. Do these latest modeling numbers suggest that we need to be headed back to more restrictions? Is there any other way to prevent things from getting not just bad, but really bad?
It might mean that, but there are some other tools on the table, like better contact tracing and testing, voluntary restriction of contacts. We don't have to rush out to the grocery store all the time. We don't have to go meet our friends at the restaurants even though they're open. We don't have to go to the gym even though it's open. We can voluntarily restrict. And of course, vaccination. Vaccination is our best way to harden our population against this eventuality. Nothing is written in stone. These aren't predictions handed down by the oracle. These are likely scenarios given possible behaviors and choices for us.
The provinces are stepping up their vaccination plans and laying out plans for the order of vaccinations in many cases. Ontario lagging a little bit behind in vaccinations, and certainly questions about why it's taking till mid-March to set up an online registration system, and questions about who will administer the shots. Do you think should we have been better prepared than we are at this point?
I think it's pretty clear we should have been better prepared. Look, we knew we'd need an online system months ago. Why is it taking this long to get one? Other countries, other states, other jurisdictions have them. We could use theirs and adapt them. I think we probably are. This could be handled well at the public health unit. So I think one good thing we're doing is handing down the responsibility to the local officials who have a long history of doing this kind of thing. So I have every faith that our local public health officials can handle this. But they have to be given the time and the resources to manage it.
All right, lots to watch in the days and weeks ahead. As always, great to talk to you, Raywat Deonandan. Take care. We'll talk again.
Thank you.